What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this beautiful Thursday morning, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in, come one, come all. All Arizona Cardinal fans are welcome, along with other fan bases out there. Appreciate everybody that's currently in the stream right now, waking up in this early morning show where we like to go live at 10:30 a.m. / Mountain Time, where we go ahead and just chop it up, right? Talk about the Arizona Cardinals, where they're at. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. We got Ian, the same, Dylan, Juan already putting in the work. Absolutely. If you guys haven't done so already, definitely do me a huge favor. Smack the like button on this video. Subscribe if this is your first time here. Welcome and join the community. We have been going through a crazy amount of growth on this channel since I've been taking this on full time. So I appreciate everybody's love and support in what we're doing here today, ladies and gentlemen. We got a fun-filled show for you today, right? We got Hard Knocks episode 2 came out yesterday. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, we got some big breaking news talking about Hollywood Brown and the potential of him starting or playing for the Arizona Cardinals this Monday Night Football. So we got a lot to dive into, ladies and gentlemen. I am so absolutely excited. Now I want to go ahead and kind of tell you guys a real quick story here real quick before we get started in this Cardinal talk. On Tuesday, I wasn't able to go ahead and do this regularly scheduled program here on, these live streams. The biggest reason for doing that, or the biggest reason why that happened, is because if you guys didn't see my community post, like my left side of the face was going through some stuff. Like, I don't know what the heck was happening. I was just getting excruciating pain. I went over to the dentist. The dentist said, hey, your teeth look good. They did x-rays. They said there's no infection. There's nothing they can do. What's blah, 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 blah. And I was still getting the pain. I did not know what was happening. And it was from this whole section of my face just absolutely in pain. I never felt pain like that before, right? And sometimes it went up to here in my head, and it even went to my left ear. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure something out. So the dentist said I'm all good to go. So I ended up going to urgent care yesterday, and thank the Lord, thank the Jesus and everything that they ended up, diagnosing what was going on. Basically, I have a nerve issue going on right now that it's inflamed. So I'm taking some medication for that, at least as of right now, because man, the pain that I was going through on the left side of my face was absolutely excruciating. So if anybody's ever going through anything like that, I've never been in the 30 plus years of my life had anything like that. So if that ever happens to you, go to urgent care. Don't go to the dentist, and see what they can do to hook you up over there, because I am feeling so much better today than I have felt the past 2 or 3 days. Now I'm still feeling it little by little, but in a pain scale, I'm only feeling like a 2 or 3 when I was feeling like 9 or 10s. So definitely helped out, right? It's a process. Hopefully it's going to start getting better. So really excited, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this lovely morning. And let's get started here, right? I want to first start off by talking about the Hard Knocks episode, right? I think it's very, very important to talk about that. Now I know a lot of people aren't privy to have HBO, and that's not a big deal, right? I do my best to go ahead and, recap it at the best of my ability. I know I don't do the best of job, but at least we can go ahead and, kind of paint a picture for you as best as I possibly could. So the Hard Knocks episode 2 ended up, airing yesterday at 8 p.m. Arizona time. And it took place right after the Rams game, right? You see Kyler Murray on the, I don't want to call it massaging bed, but basically where they stretch out his hamstring. We got a trainer working on him. We have Kyler Murray talking to us saying that, hey, we're all going to the ringer, right? We have a lot of people, on injury, at least at this moment. You see Byron Murphy, a couple, beds over, and, it kind of paints that picture, right? And then it goes over to the intro, dun, 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 dun. And then from there, they start kind of, taking you through the meetings of the coaches, the meetings of the players, and what, watching game film essentially, right? Now, there is some key moments that I definitely want to go ahead and let you guys know about this specific episode. I truly enjoyed it a lot better than episode 1. I think the biggest reason as to why is because in episode 1, I just had so much expectations, right? I wanted to see the drama. I wanted to see chairs thrown. I wanted to see this. I wanted to see that. Now, I think I just set myself too high of an expectation for episode 1. So I kind of came into this episode 2 with completely different mindset, right? So I came in here and be like, hey, I just want to see what happened, right? What was talked about in the meetings, all this different stuff. So I truly did like it a lot better. I did. And now that I lowered my expectations. Now, one thing that I want to go ahead and highlight is that we ended up kind of getting to know one of the rookies a lot better than normally we would, right? And that rookie is Lasita Smith. We ended up picking him up in this last in this last draft class. And man, the amount of like level of nervousness was very humbling to see, because obviously when rookies come in, knowing the Arizona Cardinals, for the most part, rookies don't really get a good amount of chance to get the opportunity, right? They don't get an opportunity to get in that, that role unless there is an injury, right? And we're kind of dealing with that with, now that Zach Ertz unfortunately is done for the rest of the year, we're going to start seeing more Trey McBride. And Lascidas Smith also said the same thing, right? He did not think he was going to have that starting role that he's now kind of getting thrusted into, right? And especially he's getting thrown into when we're playing the Rams versus Aaron Donald. So it's a lot of nervousness that kind of came along with it. Now, Lascidas Smith, we all obviously saw his story, right? We kind of saw, how he talks and who he kind of, tries to, to have mentor him, and that's Beach, right? Kelvin Beachum. So you got a lot of like back and forth with him and Kelvin Beachum pertaining to like just, what should I do with this, right? What should I do with this type of thing? So it was really cool to see Kelvin Beachum, take him under his wing and, helping him up to his best of his ability. I really, truly did like this episode a lot better, trust me. After that, we also saw JJ Watt's personal life. They also recapped the whole heart issue, right? And how scary it was because he just had a kid, right? Now, if you guys aren't parents out there, you probably don't know the level of love that you have for, this little thing that came into the world that you created. And that's something that obviously JJ Watt was feeling, right? And also he was being very emotional as well because he was having a heart issue at that very moment as well. So, it was a lot of, focusing on JJ Watt's personal life. You got to see his wife, him and his dogs, and them kind of like taking a daily stroll in the evening. So it's pretty cool. It's really cool to see a little bit more in depth of what JJ Watt's life looks like. And on top of that, man, JJ Watt is just such an inspirational talker, just an inspirational person, just in general. He made like this really inspirational speech in the beginning of the Rams game, pretty much saying, lay it out on the table, and this is what we got to do, right? We are paid to do this. There's no losing in this game. Like, this is an absolute must win for the Arizona Cardinals. And obviously we all know the turnout and how that became. So after JJ Watt, we also got to take a look into Shawn Jefferson's life as well. And if you don't know, Shawn Jefferson is our wide receiver coach. And he has a son that plays for the Rams, and that's Van Jefferson. So you got to see a little bit kind of the back and forth, the mom being split, right? In a friendly, cordial type of way, right? Having her pick between, wanting her son to succeed as a wide receiver and then her husband succeed as the wide receiver coach. But Shawn Jefferson, like himself personally, he just seems like a very inspiring guy, right? Somebody that never talks any negativity, just being always trying to hype people up. And that's something that I really liked about Shawn Jefferson. So that was kind of a surprise. I never expected us to kind of focus on just a wide receiver coach, but I truly did enjoy seeing his personal life and what, it looks like, right, outside of football. So that was pretty cool to see. Another thing, I got two more points and then we'll stop talking about this. I have Colt McCoy basically like taking the reins in this game plan. You see Colt McCoy's like leadership stand out absolutely like crazily. Like, it's absolutely nuts to see Colt McCoy come out here and telling the quarterback coach, like, hey, if this doesn't make sense to me, it's not going to make sense to everybody else. I need to familiarize myself in this game plan and what we need to do. Colt McCoy automatically knew when they were trying to put their game plan in on Wednesday that they were going to be down a lot of offensive linemen, right? Like, they were down to the nitty gritty. They were down to the absolutely nitty gritty of the whole situation. And they were dealing with backups, offensive linemen. They were dealing with offensive linemen that are rookies, right? Like Lascidas Smith. So none of those people that were the offensive line, with the exception of Kelvin Beachum, were the starters. So Colt McCoy automatically knew that coming into the game, right? So he wanted to familiarize himself with the game plan, and boy, did he ever. He did a fantastic job making sure that everybody was familiar with what was going on, making sure that the offensive line knew what was happening, the wide receivers knew what was happening, and it was just a really cool thing to see his leadership skills kind of come in and start honing down in the game plan versus the Rams, because it was an absolutely must win. So Colt McCoy just doing his thing. Absolutely love to see it. One of my last points was we did get to see a step into Steve Keim's life, right? Obviously, with Steve Keim being the general manager, putting this team together, you kind of see his personal life. He's got a kid playing football. I believe he's also an offensive lineman, which is what Steve Keim used to play when he played football. So you got to see a little bit of his personal life, which obviously when you're looking at that, you don't have so much, I guess, like negativity to say about him. He looks like a great dad. He looks like somebody that really loves his family. And that's absolutely really cool to see kind of like the personal life on what Steve Keim is doing, right? Especially with his son. So it was pretty cool to see that. You got to see some moments with him in the locker room, with him talking to Buda Baker, with him talking to other teammates or personnel within the organization, either coaches or players. So it was really pretty cool to see that, cordial conversation amongst, the team. And everybody seems to like really kind of get along. And that's cool. That's exactly what we want to see. The last disappointing point, like I only had one disappointing thing that we didn't get to see, and that was Eno Benjamin, right? I was really hoping that we were going to see something from Eno Benjamin, right? Something of him walking out, something of him maybe having a conversation with the coaches, right? Something. And we saw nothing about Eno Benjamin. Now, are we going to see something next week? Possibly. But as of right now, this was probably the perfect week to put something in there, right? Or at least that would have been the drama that I was looking for, because we're still kind of in that situation where we don't know what happened with, Eno Benjamin. We just know what we're hearing in rumors, right? We're only hearing the rumors, at least as of right now. And the rumors are saying that he wasn't happy, right? He wasn't happy with his production in the Rams game. He wasn't happy with what was his production going to be, either moving forward or just the Rams game. I'm not 100% sure, right? We don't know. And that's something that I really wanted to see from this Arizona Cardinal Hard Knock episode, was what really went down, right? Now, like I said, we still have some possibility that it can be next week, right? Because the way that this episode ended was literally right after the Rams game. That's how this ended, right after the Rams game. So you got to see people, right? Obviously, really exciting, beating the Rams. You saw Colt McCoy, or last thing I want to say, Colt McCoy had a very, very snide remark to Sean McVay. So obviously, when Sean McVay and just the game's over, Sean McVay comes up to, Cliff Kingsbury, said, "Hey, good job, good luck the rest of the way," and then Sean McVay goes over to Colt McCoy. They hug each other out because they know each other as well, because they both used to be, in a different organization together. And Colt McCoy actually said this to Sean McVay. He said, "Hey, this is so weird, right? Because we're down like 4 offensive linemen." And the look on Sean McVay's face was absolutely priceless, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely loved it. It was cool. I like that he kind of, threw a little jab in there for Sean McVay, because Sean McVay knew, right? He knew that this might have been the game that kind of either A, sealed their fate, or B, having every game being just as important as, the last game, or now every game is as important for Sean McVay. So it was really cool to see that. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Definitely, I liked it a lot more than episode 1. But I guess the biggest reason why I liked it better than episode 1 is because, like, I had just so much expectations going into episode 1 that I think I kind of let myself down, right? It had nothing to do with the production. I think it was a really good storytelling, and I think I just let myself more down than anything. So I came into episode 2 with the not such high expectations, but we definitely got some cool things out of it, right? JJ Watt, Sean Jefferson, Lacita Smith. You got to see Colt McCoy, do his thing, and you got to see a little bit of the life of Steve Keim and what he does, talking to people and all that different stuff. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. Like I said, the only disappointing thing that I found was the fact that no Eno Benjamin footage at all. I don't think Eno Benjamin was even in that episode, if I can completely be truthful. I don't think he was actually in that episode at all. So we'll see, right? And I know I told you guys like that, hey, I'm gonna do like a recap of it, or like some sort of reaction to it, like after that on like Wednesday. I didn't get a chance to do it. I feel like it's better just to do it here on a podcast setting, so we can kind of like talk about it together and chop it up, right? So that's kind of me summarizing a 45 to 50-minute episode right there in a nutshell. I truly did think that, hey, it's worth watching if you are privy to have HBO. If you don't, I mean, as of right now, I don't think I have seen anything that I'm like, you have to watch it, right? It's an absolute must watch. If you like that type of content, then, and if you have HBO, I recommend you watching it. But to pay for a subscription from HBO, if you don't got the funds or anything like that, I don't think you should kind of leap and bound and go out of your way to watch it and get the subscription if you don't have the funds. But that's completely up to you. That's completely up to you. So let's take a look here. Let's change the conversation over to this breaking news that we ended up getting yesterday, right? Now, I know we got a lot of people in the chat. Appreciate you guys for following through. Thank you so very much for being here, by the way. let's go into Marquise Hollywood Brown. Now, I did mention this in the podcast setting, ladies and gentlemen. The best way for you to answer questions is for you to do like a contribution / super chat. Just FYI, I know there's a lot of people in the chat right now, but that's the best way to do it. If you can't, you can wait till the end where we do answer questions, or I'm actually focusing on the chat. So just FYI. But let's talk about Marquise Hollywood Brown, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the big breaking news that we ended up getting yesterday, right? Now, we ended up getting this report, right? Adam Schefter said it. We ended up getting something from Ian Rappaport as well. So it's pretty big, right? Pretty big news. Oh, dang, I uploaded into the wrong spot. 1 second, y'all. Let me get the situation here real quick. 1 second. Okay, so Ian Rappaport reported it as well as Shefty, but this is going to be the screenshot of Field Yates here from ESPN. He said the Cardinals have designated wide receiver Hollywood Brown to return to practice from IR. He is eligible to play as soon as Monday night against the 49ers. Now, obviously, when I heard this, I'm like, oh boy, let's get this going, right? We're finally seeing what we wanted to see for quite some time. Bro, I am so darn excited. I am so darn excited to finally have, or at least the potential to finally have Marquise Hollywood Brown here in a Cardinal uniform alongside with our guy DeAndre Hopkins, right? This is absolutely the boost that we needed. We ended up beating a team that, we haven't had the best luck, right? We haven't had the best luck with the Rams at all, right? Out of the 4 years with Cliff Kingsbury and Sean McVay, we have now beaten Sean McVay twice now. Just twice. So it's really cool to finally see that good momentum, good swing. Now, I still think that this is a very good, convincing win because we haven't beat them in a very long time. But I also do think that the real test is the 49ers. I think the 49ers is going to be where it's really at, right? We need to figure out what this team's looking like. And the 49ers are the test. Like, this is exactly what I said against the Saints team, right? I was excited about that win too. Hey, right? Good job, Cardinals. Yeah, let's go. Another win. I'm stoked. But the real test was the Vikings at that moment. Now, for me, at this one, the Rams was a good win. But we all know John Wolford was over there, right? He was sailing some balls over some wide receivers. He probably was the one who got Cooper Kupp hurt just because he sailed that ball and he tried to make a play. Right? I mean, freak stuff happens. I'm not blaming John Wolford, or I'm not blaming Mark Wilson either. But freak things happen, right? It's football. But truth of the matter here is, ladies and gentlemen, that we can potentially see Marquise Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins together. And that's exactly something that I would love to see. And I think we're all been dying to see. We all excited to see the DeAndre Hopkins as well as Marquise Hollywood Brown and Zach Ertz. But as you can tell, like, just the luck of the Arizona Cardinals, right? We've had at least two players at the same time. We never got a chance to see all three of them together. And we're not going to see it, right? At least for the rest of this regular season where, Zach Ertz is gone for the rest of the season. But we have the potential of bringing Hollywood Brown. DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, man, let's get this going. I'm absolutely super excited, at least of the potential that we're going to be seeing Marquise Hollywood Brown in a Cardinal uniform and not getting them in their street clothes on the sideline. So stoked about that. Another thing that I want to go ahead and mention to you guys is going to be this right here. Now, I think the big question coming into this week, right, is going to be, is it going to be Kyler? Is it going to be Colt, right? Now, Cliff did say that he's going to provide us this information pretty soon. He said by the end of the week, but I mean, that could be anything, right? It can either be tomorrow on Friday, or it can be over the weekend because we have a Monday night football game and there's really no rush. We know how our Cardinals operate. We know that we like to do things very last minute because we don't want to show our hand, right? We don't want to show our cards. So we might be seeing something potentially maybe tomorrow about who's going to start, or we might be seeing something along the lines of maybe over the weekend. At least at this moment, we don't know. Maybe even on Monday we'll hear something. But this is the latest information that we've gotten here from, Adam Schefter here. So let me go ahead and read this out to you guys. He says, Kyler Murray is day-to-day with a hamstring issue. Colt McCoy is dealing with a minor knee injury. And the Cardinals head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, said he plans to decide later this week who will start at quarterback. Monday night in Mexico City versus the 49ers. Now, if you guys can do me one huge favor in the chat below, who do you want the Arizona Cardinals to start? Now, we've had this discussion, we've had this debate for a very long time, right? We've only been doing this live podcast in a consistent basis since last week, and we've already had some good success, right? We've had a lot of people be very excited and love the opportunity to chop it up in the chat with a lot of different Cardinal fans. We all got opinions, but that's why we're here, right? To go ahead and give those opinions out. Who do you guys want to start on Monday Night Football versus the 49ers? Let me know in the chat below, and let me get to these two contributions. Alex, I appreciate you. Jack, I see you too. Let me get to these contributions. He says, this team hasn't found an identity yet. This week will be a good chance to find that identity. I agree. Honestly, I think up to this last game versus the Rams, I 100% agree. I think our identity was, let's chuck that ball up to DeAndre Hopkins. Like, I feel like that was our identity moving in, right? I don't think that the Arizona Cardinals truly was able to gel because of all the injuries that we've had. Now, I don't want to put any, excuses in this season, because I'm far from trying to give anybody any excuses, right? I don't think that it's a right answer. Steve Keim should have put us in a succession spot where we're getting the depth that we needed, and we're sitting here at 4-6 now. So with the potential of the Arizona Cardinals, continuing to win, we could possibly turn this season around. But this game right here against the 49ers is absolutely huge. So I do agree with the identity thing. Maybe we can go ahead and get that figured out within this last 7 games. Let's get to Jack. Appreciate you, Jack. He says, I'm excited to see Hollywood Brown again, but I'm a little skeptical, and I'm hoping they're not rushing him back from injury because we need his speed. Ooh, that's a good call out. That's a good call out. I'm not sure either, right? I think we initially heard that Marquise Hollywood Brown was gone for 4 to 6 weeks, if I can remember correctly. It just depends, right? It depends on the body of the player. Now it's funny because I think I remember Hollywood Brown coming onto an interview because he was elevated off of IR. He's told the people saying like, hey, I told him I was going to be back in 4 weeks, right? So I think he kind of knew that this was going to happen in 4 weeks, but I think that we obviously missed Marquise Hollywood Brown. But I agree with you. I don't want anything further to happen to Marquise Hollywood Brown with him, rushing it, right? I agree with that narrative for sure. Now, he knows his body. He seems pretty confident in it. He seems like he can provide the spark, the oomph that we need. So I guess we just have to put it in his hands and hope and pray that nothing happens, right? That's kind of all we can do at this very moment. Now, I know that I released a video, I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, and I've had a lot of comments ask me this, like, or at least not ask me, but they were, putting it in the comments saying, hey, seems like everybody forgot about Max Williams, right? Everybody said that, or at least a few people said everybody forgot about Max Williams. Now, I was not told, but I heard through the grapevine that the possibility of the Arizona Cardinals elevating Max Williams was going to be a real thing. Now, as of right now, we haven't heard anything yet in the Twitter world. I'm not sure if you guys caught anything that I didn't catch, but as of right now, I haven't heard anything about Max Williams being elevated. But he was also talking to the media, and he said he's got very, very, I guess, excitement about potentially coming up, because I think even Cliff Kingsbury said that he can possibly come up, right, and get elevated. He seems like he's good to go. He's excited about the opportunity. He's missed football. He's been in the practice squad for quite some time. And I know when we released him, everybody was like, oh man, right? Why would we do that? Max Williams is the man. Why would we do that? I think it came down to him just being more healthier and opening up another spot for the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll see, right? We'll see exactly how it all turns out. Because honestly, this game, and I know I said this a little earlier as well, it's a must win for the Cardinals. Because imagine the narrative, right? Imagine the narrative if the Arizona Cardinals win this game on Monday Night Football. Right now, we're sitting the number 3 in the division at 4-6. We got the 49ers at 5-4, and then we got the Seahawks at 6-4. Like, we're only 2 games down. We got the 49ers and then the Chargers. And then, who knows? Who knows what happens from there? But we got to take care of business. We absolutely need to take care of business, starting with the 49ers on Monday Night Football. So we got 49ers, Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Bucks, Falcons, and then the 49ers again. So we got 7 more games in the regular season. Let me see if you guys answered about, I know I've asked you guys, do you guys think Colt or Kyler? No F's gives his he says, I don't care as long as we win. That's fair. Let's see Trace McSorley start. Oof. I don't think that's gonna happen, my guy. We have some people saying Colt. Kyler should start. Let's take a look here. Wesley's out for Wesley is out for the season. Max Williams. I like Max Williams. I really do. Hope he plays. He's great. Yes, at least as of right now, like it seems like it's been like teased, right? It seems like it's been teased at this very moment that he could potentially come back for the Cardinals. But as of right now, I haven't heard anything about him being elevated. But like right now, I'm on Twitter world and I'm trying to see like if there's any updates. And as of right now, I'm not really seeing very much, at least here on my end. So we'll have to kind of wait and see, right? We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. I'm only hoping maybe by today or tomorrow we'll hear something about him being elevated, because I truly do believe that he's going to be a piece that we can use, right? A piece that we can use within this, offensive line with blocking. I know he can also make some, plays catching the ball, but I like him when the idea of him blocking. So we'll see. Jack coming up clutch with another super chat. Oh my God, Jack up in here right now. Let's go. Jack, appreciate you. He says, I'm also worried about Kelvin Beachum committing to too many false starts because he has to face Nick Bosa. And Beachum is going to be over committing to to block him. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? I was actually seeing the comments. Somebody ended up asking a little earlier before we started the stream. They said, like, do you think that the rookies and the new people that are coming in, like the second and third stringers, were better than our first stringers in the offensive line? I don't think like that's the case. Like, I would rather have DJ Humphries out there, right? No matter how much, frustration he causes us sometimes, or Rodney Hudson, no matter how much times he causes frustration for not being on the field, I would rather have them out there, right? Justin Pugh as well. And Will Hernandez had a pretty decent game before, or pretty decent season before he ended up getting injured as well. So I would rather have them, like, personally, but there's something to be said about these young people coming in, right? There's something to be said about Lacita Smith coming out here and doing very well for the Arizona Cardinals, because he's got that dog in him, right? He's young. His mind is adaptable. He's here to learn. He doesn't have the idea of like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, right? He's coachable. And I think that's something that's very underrated that a lot of people don't really talk about a lot, right? You can be a big superstar, right? You can be a great player. You have all the athletic tools. You can be great. But if you're not coachable and you're not gelling with the other people on the team, like, it's really hard for you to do a job when your main job is to protect the one person back there and you need those other four people to do your job, right? Or to do their job. I'm sorry. So there needs to be some sort of friendship. Needs to be some sort of cohesiveness within all the offensive line. And I think that's one of the things I took away from that Hard Knocks episode, because Beachum and Lacita Smith were on that right side. Lacita Smith almost like kind of, I don't want to say adapted, but like, what's the word? Like gravitated. He gravitated towards Beachum, and Beachum, obviously, like he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He took him under his wing, and obviously, cracking jokes and stuff like that, being like, "Oh, are you ready for Aaron Donald?" I like the idea that we're seeing that. We're seeing the kind of brotherhood, helping the young guy out, because he was very nervous. He was very nervous coming in here playing against Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald didn't do anything. Like, there was literally crickets. Aaron Donald's name wasn't said very much in this last Sunday game. So it was really cool to see it, right? And even in the blocks, man, like the way that they were communicating amongst each other was really cool to see. So I like it. I absolutely do. But you're right. That defensive line over there in the 49ers is definitely a very good defensive line as well. I would say they're a little better than the Rams. And the only reason why I say that is because the Rams, they have some good pieces. They really do. But the 49ers defensive line, I feel like they're very good cohesively. I think they're all very good with each other. So let's take a look at their actual defensive line, at least as of right now. I know Kinlaw has been hurt a lot, but let's take a look to see who most likely we're going to be kind of dealing with moving into this game here. So Eric Armstead, I know right now he's listed as questionable. Nick Bosa, Samson Abukum. I know on the NFC West Network, I have a guy, CG Ruthless Sports, and tells me all the time, watch out for this guy. So there's him. Kevin Givens, don't really know him very much. Dre Greenlaw. No, I'm sorry. Never mind. He's a linebacker. Never mind. So, who else we got here? So, I mean, that seems to be. Oh, yeah, that's right. Javon Kinlaw is on IR still. Okay, that makes sense. So, Samson Abukum, Kevin Givens, Eric Armstead, and Nick Bosa seems to be their line. So, we'll see, right? I mean, we'll see what happens. I feel like their line is good, right? I don't think we're gonna. I mean, we'll see. You never know, right? When you think of rookies and you think of second stringers and third stringers coming in and I mean, they did a very good job against Aaron Donald, right? They did a good job. So, one thing I also noticed in the Hard Knocks episode as well is that Beachum and Floyd from the Rams, they were always getting into it. And actually, I did love that. I love the back and forth between them two. There was a lot of good things. And obviously, Kelvin Beachum could say a lot of things because we won. We won that game. So it was really definitely good to see. Really good to see. Let's get to the let me do a real quick refresh. I know we don't get the injury report until later on. So let me take a look here. Yeah, nothing right now. Let me just do a quick double check on the injury report from yesterday. Take a look here. Now, I know I said usually say on Wednesdays, don't worry about the injury report, right? It's not that big of a deal. Unless they're completely listed as out, I wouldn't worry about the injury report on Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday they didn't do anything because Monday night. That makes sense. Okay, so we're probably going to hear something on Thursday. Okay, that makes sense. No injury report to report, at least at this very moment. We do got some things, along the lines about obviously, Max Williams possibly going to get elevated. Marquise Hollywood Brown has the potential to play. I'm not sure if he's going to be a full go or if it's going to be something along the lines of more like, hey, limited snaps. But we have yet to see anything about Robbie Anderson, right? Robbie Anderson has not done very much at all, and that's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. What's up, Kenny? Appreciate the super chat. He says, Majay Sanders has been a menace. I agree with that. Yeah, Majay Sanders had a really, really, really good game for the Arizona Cardinals. And I think that's something that, like, I like that we're going with these younger players and seeing what they can do. I like that we're doing that now. Let's take a look at the team stats pertaining to Majay. Let's take a look. Majay Sanders, 5 tackles and then 1 sack. But that sack was the fumble, right? That sack was the fumble, if I can remember correctly. And you're right? Majay has had a very, very good time when he had the opportunity. Isaiah Simmons has come into his own as well. I think Isaiah Simmons has done very good. Antonio Hamilton led everybody with 10 tackles, 2 assists. Ben Newman, Zaven Collins really wasn't, like, his name really wasn't called, but hey, I mean, he's doing good. Buda Baker, interception. Marco Wilson is kind of stepping into his own, and I think the reason why is because our defensive line is kind of, stepping up. But we haven't really heard anything about that Camus Gurgil Hill, that new guy that we ended up getting after the trade deadline. Chris Banjo is not getting a lot of reps because obviously Buda Baker's back. But I mean, for the most part, I love our defense. Like, I think our defense is really good. I'm sorry. I think our defense is good. Not really good, but I think our defense is good. Appreciate the super chat, but I do agree with you, right? I agree with that whole Majay Sanders is a menace, and I think the more and more reps that he gets is going to get him a better opportunity to be that guy we all want him to be. Cam Thomas too. Cam Thomas, I want to see a little bit more. I don't think we've seen him in this last game, if I'm not mistaken. We might have. He probably just didn't do very much on the. Let me see here. Take a look here if he was even available. Week 10. Want to see if Cam Thomas did very much. Let me take a look. Defensive tackles, defensive ends. Okay, so he did play. So on week 10, he had 33% of the snaps. He was on the field for 20 of those defensive plays. Okay, so he was available. He was there. It's just he didn't really have much of a big impact, essentially. Okay. I mean, Zach Allen's coming to his own too, right? We're seeing Zach Allen kind of blossom. Zach Allen and J.J. Watt, man, I love that connection together. I think it's really cool, and it's blossoming to be something that we're excited to see. He's definitely one of those people that we're going to be hopefully extending, right? Hopefully extending in the future. So we'll have to wait and see. Simmons is balling out. I agree. Illustrates said he played. Yes, I just confirmed that. Yes, he did play, and it was a lot more than I thought. I guess he didn't like really do much of an impact because 33% of the defensive snaps he was on there, on the field. Interesting. Okay. Marcus Golden, he's still getting a good majority of it. Victor Dimikichi, 13%. Dennis Gardick was available, 10%. Devon Kennard is gone. Forgot. Majay and then Ezekiel Turner. Well, he wasn't on the field either. Nice. Okay. So what is your guys' level of comfort, right? Let's talk about the 49ers right now. I know we talked a little bit about the 49ers yesterday, but let's talk about the 49ers week, right? 49ers week is coming obviously soon, a division matchup for the Arizona Cardinals, and it can go either which way, right, for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, if you guys don't mind, I want to play a video for you here real quick. And if you guys don't know, I do run another channel named the NFC West Network. And one of my co-hosts, his name is CG Ruthless Sports. He is actually the ambassador or the guy that represents the 49ers. So he's coming out here talking all sorts of mess, at least as of right now, being very confident about the San Francisco 49ers. So I want to take a look to see what you guys feel about this, because we already have the 49ers fans chirping, ladies and gentlemen. We got the 49ers fans chirping. Now, if you're interested in joining the community of the NFC West Network, all you need to do is search at the NFC West Network, or I'll make it easier for you. In the description of this video, there's a link. Click on the link on the NFC West Network. Hit a subscribe on there. We're on the road to 1,000. Can't do it without you guys. So definitely go ahead and subscribe it to the NFC West Network. We go live every Tuesday, and then we talk in a roundtable format, talk crap about their teams, and kind of go back and forth. Let me get to the super chat before I play you this video. So he says, "Has Trayvon Mullen played?" Let's take a look here to see what his production for the Arizona Cardinals are. Trayvon Mullen has had, on week 9, 3% of the defensive snaps, and then week 10, 42% of the defensive snaps. Now, keep in mind, Byron Murphy wasn't there. So because Byron Murphy wasn't there, he probably had more snaps than usual. But when Byron Murphy comes out, he's probably going to get phased out again. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, let's take a look to see what my guy CG Ruthless Sports has to say. Now, if you want to grill him, please do so in the chat here below. 1 second, everybody. Let me play this for you. 1 second. Let me know if you can hear this.
Got to build on to something better. But look at the bright side. The Cardinals are trying to play this little guessing game of who the quarterback's going to be. Is Kyler Murray going to play? That's what we're thinking. Is Colt McCoy going to play? Y'all want to play this little guessing game, but it don't matter, because at the end of the day, we're just going to come and play. And I'm hearing that Marquise Brown is coming off an injury, and he's going to play potentially. Bring whoever the hell y'all want, because y'all going to come up with excuses of why y'all couldn't get the job done. So guess what's going to happen? Pick your damn poison. You may have played McCaffrey when he was with the Panthers, but can you imagine what he would be with this Niners offense? You had to deal with Deebo Samuel before, but you got to deal with McCaffrey, Ayuk, Kittle. You got to pick your damn poison, bro. Y'all want to pick that poison? Y'all going to be fucking dead on defense. Y'all defense is suspect. It's unpredictable. Your secondary is the worst. They give up some big plays, just like how Seattle used to be. But y'all defense doesn't do much. We're going to be fucking dominating y'all.
All right, let's stop this. So he keeps going for like another minute. And obviously with the, I forgot the curse words were on there, so I apologize for any young pups in the chat right now. And if you're watching this at school and you had this on a very, very high volume, I apologize about that. I forgot the cuss words were on there. But obviously the 49ers are coming up, y'all. The 49ers are coming up right now, and they're chirping, right? They're chirping. They're very, very chest puffed, very, very high right now. They think because McCaffrey is there, they're going to be able to, beat the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say the Arizona Cardinals are going to easily beat the 49ers. I'm not going to sit here and say that. Any division game is tough. The division games are going to be absolutely tough. It's any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever the game lands on. And it is, right? We never know, and it's unpredictable. The Arizona Cardinals has had that 49ers team's number. They have. Last year, do you know how many times the Arizona Cardinals beat the 49ers? Do you know how many times the Arizona Cardinals beat the 49ers last year? Haven't beat us any time. The Arizona Cardinals swept them. Now, granted, it was Jimmy G, and then there was Trey. I was going to try Trey McBride, Trey Lance. So I don't know where this level of absolute, excitement these 49er fans are feeling right now. But honestly, I feel like the Arizona Cardinals have had their number. Now, Sean McVay is a different story, right? We've had very, very bad luck with Sean McVay. We did get a win over him this year, so we'll take that. We'll take the split. We swept them. We swept them last year, so I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I know we're a different team than we were last year. We started off 7-0. We were, we came off hot, but I'm trying to take a look to see right now what the history looks like between Kyle Shanahan and Cliff Kingsbury's record history. That's what I'm looking for right now. And I know somebody did give me a really cool stat. I believe it was on yesterday's stream, and it was like leaps and bounds. The Arizona Cardinals has completely destroyed them over there. And I'm trying to take a look to see Kyle Shanahan and Cliff Kingsbury's record amongst each other, but I'm not able to find anything, at least as of right now. I probably should have done a little bit of research here on my end, but yeah, I mean, at least as of right now, let me take a look here. Trying to find out any of these websites that's going to give me any information between them two. So the last 4 years is what I'm trying to get at. All I'm trying to say is I think the Arizona Cardinals has had their number. Smoke them. Smoke them. So I'm not sure what the level of, confidence comes from these 49er fans coming in here, right? Coming in here talking all sorts of smack. I don't know where it's coming from, ladies and gentlemen, but they're feeling it. They're feeling it, right? They beat the Chargers, but right after this 49er team, we're playing another California team. We got the Chargers coming right after. 49ers, another California team, and then the Chargers. So 49ers, Chargers. I'm excited. I think this is a good test for the Arizona Cardinal team. Now, if the Arizona Cardinal team loses, 7 losses, it's going to be a lot harder to come back on, right? That would be a 4-7 record if the Arizona Cardinals do lose this game. Obviously, nobody wants to lose this game, especially in the Red Sea. We ain't trying to go down like no punk. You know what I'm trying to say? So we'll see. Here we go. Mikey coming up clutch. He says 12-4 the last 16 games versus the 49ers. Can you say that again for the people in the back, Mikey? 12-4 the last 16 games versus the 49ers. So the Arizona Cardinals has won 12 times to their 4. Go Cardinals. 100%. 100%. What are they talking about over there? What are they talking about over there? 12-4 in the last 16 games. 16 games is what, 8 years? Oh my God. The last 8 years, and we went through Josh Rosen. We went through a Josh Rosen phase. In the last 8 years, we went through a Josh Rosen phase and Sam Bradford phase. Sheesh. You're coming over here talking all sorts of froggy stuff. I mean, my guy CG is not the only one, though. He's not the only one that has that level of confidence. Because if you go to Twitter, and I understand, right? A lot of people, Twitter's not for everybody, right? It's not. But a lot of people have confidence coming into this game. I don't know why. I don't know how they got it, or I don't know where they got it. All I know is they got it. That's all I know. All I know is they got it. And I don't know why or where or how or when this became a thing, but they think that they're just going to be able to punk us. 12-4, last 16 games. That's 8 years. Jordan P coming out with 14 games, 11-3. Bruh. We went through a Sam Bradford phase and a Josh Rosen phase. And you coming out here and saying you're going to beat us? Sheesh. I guess that's one thing that Cliff Kingsbury's got, right? Over Kyle Shanahan. Dang. Rams up in here. What's up, Rams? They always chirp about owning us. I'm telling you, man. Hold on to something. They're also the ones that are known as the guys that, right? They love to hold on to history, right? what is it, 5 or 6 rings is what they got. But they haven't won one in a hot second. It's been a while since they won one. So, yeah, I mean, it's just funny, right? We got the 49ers week coming up here for the Arizona Cardinals, and I think this is going to be a tough game. I don't think by any sense of the imagination, I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are going to own them, right? I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are going to destroy them. I'm not sitting here and saying that. I think truly that the Arizona Cardinals can hold up against this team. We got Jimmy G over there, and for some reason, we beat Jimmy G. Like, we beat him. And I just hope the trend continues, because imagine a world that we're 5-6, and then we're going to play the Chargers. If we beat the Chargers, we're 6-6, and then we got our bye week. We can get healthy, and then right after that, I think we have a solid stretch of possibly winning some more games. Come on, let's go. This game right here is absolutely important. It's the road to get to 500. That's what this game means for the Cardinals. It's the road to get back to 500 for the Arizona Cardinals. Get this win, we're 5-6. Play the Chargers, and we get that win, 6-6. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, let me get to my super chat here from Illage Ray. He says, Niner fans are arrogant and delusional. Yes, arrogance for sure. Absolutely 100%. Now, I think I have a family member that's a fan of every team in this division. So I got a family member that's a fan of the Seahawks because they're from Washington. Got a family member that's a fan of the 49ers because whatever. I don't think the Rams, though. If I gotta retract to see if I do have a family member. It may be like a long lost cousin, maybe a second cousin of a baby mama, something like that. But I know somewhere along there might be a Rams fan somewhere in my family. Cardinal fan. Born and raised here in Arizona, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see, right? We'll see. We got my guy Charles saying fire Steve Keim. Well, I still want that narrative to be a thing, right? I don't think anything's changed. Now, here's the thing. If we have a winning record by the end of the season, I don't think anybody's getting fired. It's just the truth of the nature. The only way that the Arizona Cardinals will make a move in my eyes is if we are a bad, disgusting, bottom dweller, bottom of the line type of team. That's really the only way that we'll see changes, because I kind of almost promise you if we win 8 to 9 games, Cliff's going to remain the coach. Whether you like it or not, I just think that's the way the Arizona Cardinals are going to function. And of course, if he keeps his job, then the contract stays the same with Keim, because in their eyes, it's a winning record. At least a 9-8 would be. Sheesh. Get to 6-6. Anything's open for the Cardinals. Get to 6-6. Anything's open. And if we can become that team, y'all, to be that team that gets hot at the end of the season, then dang. Woo! Let's go. Let's get this division race started. Let's take a look at the 49ers 3-game stretch right now, because yes, we have 2 games and then our bye week. Let's take a look at the 49ers game stretch. So they got us. They got the Saints, and then they got the Dolphins. Okay. So if we can take care of business against them on Monday night, the Saints, they might beat, right? The Dolphins are playing really good football. So if the Dolphins can beat us and they end up at 1-2 in this 3-game stretch, that's a W for the Arizona Cardinals in a nutshell. An absolute W for the Arizona Cardinals in a nutshell. Let's take a look at the Seattle Seahawks. Let's see what their 3-game stretch is, at least as of right now. So next game, they got the Raiders. Oh, that's an easy game. They got the Rams. Oof. And then they got the Panthers. Oh, brother. Is this a Seahawks bye week? This is a Seahawks bye week, right? Yeah, this is the Seahawks bye week. 17th. The next game's the 27th. Okay, yeah, so this is the Seahawks bye week. Okay. So they have a bye week right now. Ooh, if we can get some traction on their bye week, let's go. But when they come back, when the Seahawks come back, they got the Raiders, which are an easy team. The Rams, we don't know. It's a division, so we'll see. And then they got the Panthers. But then the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Jets, and then the Rams again. Ooh, their last game stretches don't look so bad. Just got to take care of business. I hate that we got swept against the Seahawks. Because now they got that 2-game cushion over us, and we got to take care of business and then also allow dominoes to fall in all our favor. I don't want to look at the Rams because the Rams are a crapshoot right now. I guess we can look at them just for, time's sake here. Oh my God, the Rams have the Saints, and then they got the Chiefs, and then the Seahawks. So they probably beat the Saints. If they don't beat the Saints, then it's over, right? Pack your bags is done. If they don't beat them, if they don't beat the Saints, pack your bags, it's done. Then the Chiefs, that's going to be a tough one. And then they got the Seahawks division game. Ooh, these next 3 games are going to be telling, y'all. These next 3 games are going to be absolutely telling for the Arizona Cardinals. Every person that's a vocal leader in that locker room needs to let everybody know. That we need to get this job done. Okay, so we do got some updates, ladies and gentlemen. We got some updates for some Cardinals news right now. I just kind of refreshed my Twitter right now. Just FYI, we do got some updates. So we got Paul Calvisi and Darren Urban both saying that both Kyler Murray and Hollywood Brown on the move during the Arizona Cardinals practice. So we got Marquise Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray both on the field. Darren Urban says the quarterback of the hour, Kyler Murray and Colt McCoy, both working. Buddha stretched out, then went inside. Who's not here is DJ Humphries, Byron Murphy, and DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, I'm not worried about, right? I think DeAndre Hopkins probably had like a Veterans Day off, right? And it's DeAndre Hopkins. So we did get some updates. If you're excited about Kyler Murray potentially starting, this is a good start, right? Kyler Murray's on the field right now, so is Colt McCoy. They're both working. Buddha stretched out, then went inside. And then we got Hollywood Brown also in the practice field as well. So, hey, we might have Marquise Hollywood Brown in the potential. Kyler Murray might play too. I think we're looking pretty gravy right now. Granted, it's Thursday. We got Friday, and I think maybe Saturday. I'm not sure what Monday Night Football looks like when, like, in terms of like their practices. I know usually Saturdays is their travel day, but being that it's on Sunday now, I don't know if they're going to try to squeeze in another practice on Saturday. For sure, Friday. But the people that aren't in practice right now is DJ Humphries, Byron Murphy, and DeAndre Hopkins, at least as of right now. And that's what Paul Calvisi is reporting right now. Okay. We might get our squad back, ladies and gentlemen. We might get our squad back. All right, let's take it to the comments here. Let's see what you guys have to say. I didn't even notice we were live for 53 minutes. Let's go. All right, cool. Let's get to the Q&A section, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear what you guys have to say. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. This is the best way to you guys go about doing it. Put it in the chat, and let's go ahead and answer some questions of what you guys have to say. But definitely some hopeful news if you want Kyler Murray to start on Monday Night Football because he's on the field. We also got Marquise Hollywood Brown on the field. So, hey, trending in the right direction. So we got Kenny. What's up, Kenny? He said, so is Josh Jones filling for, I think he would be the fill-in. Yes, I think he would be the fill-in if DJ Humphries can't go. Now, keep in mind, it's Thursday right now. So being that it's Thursday right now, we still got Friday and Saturday. I would freak out a little bit more if he wasn't available on Friday and if they have a practice on Saturday. Then I would freak out a little bit more. But I mean, you never really know. You never really know what happens. They didn't have a practice on Wednesday, so it's just basically shifted over. So this is their first practice. Who gets more production, D-Hop or Hollywood? Oh my God, it's pick your poison, honestly. It's pick your poison at that point. It's pick your poison. Now, I don't have a solid person, but for the Cardinals to have those two players, and then Rondale Moore in the slot. Ooh-wee. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. It's no excuses at that moment, right? No excuses for the Cardinals to not be able to say, hey, we don't have weapons because we got the weapons. Rondale Moore is looking really nice now. Very, very nice. For the last 2 or 3 games, this guy's done wonders. So having Marquise, having D-Hop, and Rondale Moore, and then if Trey McBride can be the guy that a lot of people hope that he can become, sheesh. Huge sheesh. So we'll see. It just depends, right? I think it depends on who's blocking who, but I don't think the cornerbacks for the 49ers are that great. No, I'm sorry. They have a new guy named Hufanga, and he's actually really good. Because Jason Verrett got hurt again. I think they're holding hope that Hufanga is going to be the guy that's covering the number 1 wide receiver. So that might be D-Hop. So maybe Marquise can get a little bit more open because he got them really focusing on D-Hop. If we win the Super Bowl under Steven Cliff, is it still fire? No, well, no, not anymore. No, not at all. No. Not at all. I mean, honestly, I think when it comes down to the Arizona Cardinals, the fans and everybody, we just want to win. Like, that's it. Like, you win, then we're good. You know what I mean? This is the team that's been very underperforming for a very long time. And I know we have a lot of new fans, right? We have a lot of new fans with the Kyler Murray hype. People, I've been seeing people in the chat saying things like, oh, Arizona Cardinals are my second favorite team. What? Cardinals are your second favorite team? I live in Phoenix, but I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, but I love to see what the Cardinals do. What? No, that doesn't work like that. At least not in my house. Now, you're a Cardinal fan if you live in my house. You know what I mean? So, like, I know we have a lot of new fans coming, right? And they're seeing the 3-game stretch, right? The 3-year stretch before this year. And that's what they're seeing. But truth be told, the Arizona Cardinals has gone through the ringer. If you're an Arizona Cardinal fan and you've been a Cardinal fan for 10 plus years, 15 plus years, you've been through the ringer. We've been through the terrible quarterbacks. We've been through not winning. We've been through no Super Bowls other than 2008. Like, we've been through it all. So, like, yes, if we go to the Super Bowl, yeah, I mean, we don't have to say fire Cliff, fire Kime anymore. Yeah, right, because we made it to the next step. But, like, there's no other organization besides the Arizona Cardinals that accepts the mediocrity that we do. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to say is that, like, the 5, the 8, the 11 wins, like, shit, you put that on a Philly team. If you don't get the Super Bowl or in a Philly market, you don't get Super Bowl or playoffs in the first year, you're cut. You're done. Or at least 2 or 3 years. The Arizona Cardinals are the only team that accepts it. Only organization that does it. And I think the biggest reason why is because we've got so many transplants in this place. So many transplants. So many transplants here in Phoenix, Arizona, that we have people saying things like, oh, I'm a Packers fan, but the Cardinals are my second favorite team. What? Oh, my girlfriend's a Cardinal fan, but I'm a Chiefs fan. I like watching the Cardinals, what they do, because I live in Phoenix. What? No. If you haven't been through the ringer, if you haven't been through the John Skelton, the Ryan Lindley, the Derek Anderson, all the terrible quarterbacks between Warner and Palmer, I don't think I want to have a conversation because you don't feel the pain. You don't understand what the Arizona Cardinal fans have gone through. You don't understand it. And because we're having this little sample size of success, right? Out of this 4 years, 2 years of, I guess we can say success, 8-8, and then the 11-win team. Success, I guess you want to put it. It doesn't feel a void because we still haven't won a Super Bowl. Get us a Super Bowl, and that's all we want. The Phoenix marketplace in general, with the Suns, the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals, the Coyotes, nobody's won any championship except for the Diamondbacks in 2001. So we're starved for a championship. The reason why we're so, fire him, fire this, because we're not getting it done. That's it. 4 years is plenty enough time. It is. And we're the only market, at least in my eyes, we're the only market that accepts it. We accept mediocrity. It's just what we do. We don't want to fight for it. It doesn't matter. It's a bigger cause than one person, right? So that's why I created this channel, right? So we have one voice. We have one message. We have something that we can actually adapt to. And if they take us to the Super Bowl, freaking cool. That's all we want. We got nothing personally against Cliff. We got nothing personally against Kime. I don't know them personally. But if you're not getting the job done, why the hell are you here? You know what I mean? So Super Bowl, let's do it. I'll take it. I'm down. Yes, so we stop it. We stop that narrative, 100%. But that's where the situation kind of lies, right? We've got so many new fans, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds, because of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray makes people excited. Kyler Murray brings that level of, oh my God, this team looks flashy. This team looks cool. But that's the thing. None of those new people been through it. They haven't been through the heartbreak of the Super Bowl with Larry Fitzgerald. They haven't gone through the heartbreak of making it into the playoffs the next year and then get booted out by the Saints. They haven't gone through the heartbreak of 2015 when the Arizona Cardinals went to the NFC Conference Championship and got destroyed by the Panthers. And we looked absolutely terrible. One of the most saddest videos that I like to go ahead and watch every one of myself when I'm feeling sad is that All or Nothing Amazon series that they had on the Arizona Cardinals when Larry Fitzgerald is hunched over in his knees and that little song comes up and we'll rise up. You know what I'm talking about? It's the saddest thing I've ever seen because Larry Fitzgerald knew this was the time that he can get that ring. This year, that 2015 team was the year. And it didn't happen. It's the saddest thing. I love to see it, though, because it's a really good series. But then we got, people like Calais Campbell. Miss the dude. I miss the dude. Calais Campbell was a freaking dog. It sucks that we don't have him here anymore. And he ended up going to Baltimore and gave him his best years over there. Patrick Peterson was a very vocal leader there, trying to get everybody piped back up, say, hey, man, we're going to get back there. But have the Arizona Cardinals got back there? No, we haven't. So, that's kind of what we're feeling, right? That's what we're feeling. So that's where we are as a fan base right now. Or, that's the hurt. That's the heartache that the Arizona Cardinal fans went through. So if you can understand that and you've been through the ringer, then hey, cool. Yeah, I mean, we've been through worse, right? We've been through an absolute dumpster fire of an organization. We still haven't won a Super Bowl in Arizona. So sorry, my spiel. But that was a good team. Oh my goodness. I'm already thinking about it in my head. And we'll rise up. Oh my goodness. So sad. All right, everybody. We have made it to the hour mark. I absolutely appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you. It's been a very fun-filled show. We're going to be trying to do this Monday through Thursday at 10:30 a.m. every day. A consistent podcast where we can talk to each other amongst each other, talk about the next game. So if you love this, if you like this setting, we're still going to be showing up the little videos too. Like the videos of the 5 minutes, the 10-minute videos are still going to be a thing. So if that's why you subscribe to the channel, that's not going away. We're still getting that content, and we're also opening up this live streams here where we're talking to each other for an hour, making a show of it. And if you truly liked it, definitely do me one huge favor, smack the like button on this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe it up, everybody. Appreciate you guys for coming through. We will be ending it here on this positive note. Marquise Hollywood Brown looks like a very high potential. Kyler Murray looks like a very high potential. Max Williams said that he might get elevated. So we got some things to kind of look forward to moving in, ahead. Most important thing that we have going for us is that we need to beat the 49ers on Monday Night Football. It's where it starts. You beat them, it's where it starts. So let's see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. It's been a pleasure speaking to everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards. Later, y'all.